I want to start off this episode by saying we are coming close to the holiday season, so life gets real. People get all type of crazy feelings, and sometimes things go left. So I want everybody to think about themselves first for a change, and be kind to yourself. Like, give yourself some grace, because we all have lives, we have jobs, we have children, significant others, whatever. We put everybody before we put ourselves, but I think we need to carry ourselves a little different this year. Let's try to go through the holiday season a lot less stress. Like, instead of focusing on gifts and materialistic things, let's focus on the memories and like being in the moment, if that makes sense.
Hmm.
Like creating traditions and things of that nature. I just was thinking about how around this time every year, because Halloween's coming around, so we gotta buy Halloween costumes and candy and blah blah blah. And then once Halloween leaves, it never stops. There's Thanksgiving and there's Christmas, and we're just worried about buying things for people and getting this and getting that. And then we coming into the new year. We starting.
Hmm.
I don't want to carry whatever I had in this year into the next. So that's even more stressful. Like, let's stop, take a beat, and be kind to ourselves. I had an idea, and people in the comments chime in and tell me what you think about this. I want to do a book club. We'll figure out like what that really means, but while we're waiting on the details, um, I think it would be good if we would read books that are created by people of color, people with real stories. And we can do fiction too. I don't really care. Let's look into black authors. But the first book, let's do Rabbit by Miss Pat. Miss Pat got a crazy story. For those of you who don't know who she is, she's a comedian. She's got a show on BET. Google her. But yeah, she got a crazy, crazy, crazy life, and she does have a book out. So anybody interested in being part of the book club, you know how to get at me on all the socials and whatnot. But if you got the book already and you read it, when we figure out how the discussion will work, you chime in, we'll talk about it, and then if you don't have it already, look into that. Okay, so I'm super excited. You don't even know. I have been trying to get you forever, because you are amazing, 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 and I love your story, your life, your enthusiasm for life. And then one thing I always noticed about you, you like super practical. Like,
Hmm.
it's just it is what it
It is.
is. It's as
Absolutely.
simple as 1 plus 1 equals 2,
Yes.
and we don't need to do nothing else. It's just
That simple.
like you are like the picture for what's understood don't need to be said. like you're not necessarily a person of few words, but it's just that I don't do all that extra stuff. Like, I don't have the time or the energy. What you see is what you get. I don't have nothing else, and I'm not trying to make nothing else for you either.
Why?
Exactly. So tell the people who you are.
Well, my name is Timothy Blake. I'm from the west side of Chicago. I am the grandson of Bonnie Blake, a great woman. And I'm an entrepreneur. Actually, I'm a book.
Mm-hmm.
So it's so many parts of me, but the the best part of me is that my life has changed for the better.
Yes, it has. Yes, it has.
That's the best part of me.
Now,
So
since you brought it up, if you were to write your own story, what would it be called?
truly blessed.
In the raw. Okay.
I mean, there's no other way to say it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everybody has their own story, yet it's still my story. To me, is that story. Everybody lived their life, but where I come from, the story of Timothy Blake from the beginning until this point is like it's a
Mm-hmm.
movie. I still can't believe it.
Have you ever like actually thought about writing it?
I'm into it.
Okay.
I'm actually into it. I've been playing with this book for years because this book is like it's always gonna be to be continued.
Mm.
So I want to get to everybody
True,
already know about the
I've been,
past. I want to let them see a little bit of the future.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? What people thought couldn't happen or wasn't gonna happen or that I wasn't gonna be here.
Yeah.
So with that part right there, it's like I want to show y'all what changed me because y'all knew exactly what I served when I was serving. So
Yeah.
now I want to show y'all that what I believed back in the day, what I was serving was real. Now that I learned something different and it's actually working and it actually doing things for me that no money could ever do. I have plenty of that.
Now, do you think if you were able to go back and like talk to yourself when you were in the dark, whatever you would consider to be your darkest place, you
Hmm.
think if you had the ability to go back and talk to yourself at that point that you would listen?
No, I wouldn't even want to go back and change nothing. I wouldn't even want to go back and do none of that because everything that happened was supposed to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So why talk? How could I talk? How could I talk to something that's already been forespoken? So what I could say now is right now, what I would do now is I would say, wow, look at my testimony. See, my past is my testimony.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people don't get a chance to tell their testimony.
They don't.
So my past, like the book, my past is gonna be that big testimony to right now.
Yeah.
Nobody would have never thought that I'd be sitting right here or being free, period. So just to go from that part to now, what's going on now, and let people see this and know that oh, he ain't playing because he don't play.
Right. And you haven't switched up either.
For what?
Right.
What I'm gonna go back to? What I'm going back to?
Yeah.
The street don't want me.
I'm glad you see it that way.
They don't. They don't. Not that way. And I would even want to go back to the street. There's nothing in the street. When I was growing up, it wasn't no fairy tale. It was right there. You synced it.
Yep.
It was right there.
And it was very specific outcomes.
You feel what I'm saying? So it's like now it's like you might as well just go get a job.
Yeah.
Then get in the street because first off, either you gonna make ain't no money. Period. Ain't no money. And there's no love. There's no respect. There's no honor. So why go back to something that what I believed in don't exist no more?
Right. Right.
It don't exist.
And I think more people need to look at it like, we become, I don't even want to say better. We become different versions of ourselves every day,
Mm-hmm.
right? Depending on how you wake up in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't say better because who am I to say you better? I can't say that.
Mm-hmm.
So like when you was talking about testimonies, like a lot of people will say, we want to give our testimony to the youth. But I just don't think that it resonates the way it should with them. I feel like a lot of this type of stuff
Mm-hmm.
is for other adults. You know what I'm saying? Because people give up every day. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Or they'll slide back into old ways because it's comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Get back into bad relationships because it's comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And like there aren't enough actual stories and testimonies and actual depictions of people who have been able to change their lives.
Well, a lot of people who do change their life, they want to run away and keep it to themselves.
Do you think that's selfish or you think that's smart?
I think that is their choice. But me personally, I feel if you don't give back, I mean, that means that you ain't really learned nothing.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? You still a follower,
Yeah.
because a person who been through something always going to want to help somebody in some type of way.
Yeah.
Instead of that person who gonna study try to influence you to be nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So it all depends on the people, man. But me personally, I just want people to know that your life don't have to be that way. When people say, "Well, that," I had a young guy who came to me and he said, "I get up every morning on BS to go see who I'ma hurt."
Okay.
And I asked him why. He said, "Because I have nothing to live for." I say, "So you have nothing to live for as you think, but you do because you get up every day and you can go do something. But you want to take your energy to plot on hurting somebody." I said, "That don't even make sense."
No.
I say, "And I'm finna get away from you because that's demonic." And I say, "I'm gonna let you know that you have nothing in you that's good if you say that's what you get up every morning for. Every morning you get up to want to hurt somebody." But then I had to tell him. I said, "But God still love you though, because He created good and evil for His good pleasure." So, you know. But anyway, come on, come on,
That's a
man.
lot though.
I know,
Like
right?
I get up every day to hurt.
Yeah, that's what he think about every day.
That's too much.
And these was young men that I was, like you say, going to talk to people. These was young men who I was going to talk to. And I had to let them know, like, hey man, you lost friends. We have too. I say, so you think that we gonna sit here and just exterminate ourselves? I say we had to figure it out too. I say people might not still like me,
Mm-hmm.
but we had to figure it out.
Do you think it's worse now than it was back then?
Absolutely.
Why do you? What's missing and what's fueling it, in your opinion?
What's missing is love, period. And what's fueling it is people who don't want to see people grow, that want to keep a person right there for them for their self gain.
Mm.
You think this stuff going on just for whatever? No, it's for somebody's self gain. And they using these young boys and these young girls as good pawns, like for real. And they say these young kids just out here doing anything. No, they not. They listening to somebody.
Yeah.
Are you crazy? They just don't want to hear nothing good because what they think was good, probably growing up a little bit, it switched on them, like what I was talking about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just, are you gonna strive for something different? They still young, you know. I didn't get into. I was like almost 40.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So everybody, oh, they do. No. Y'all better forget. Don't forget, y'all have to grow up too. And y'all ain't get out of that mess until a certain time neither. And some people just there for that.
Yeah.
So, what fuels it is, as you ask, what fuels it is ignorant people. My wife said I should choose different words, but it is what it is. The devil ignorant.
Yeah.
Anybody who follow him, ignorant. They think that that's right. Not saying I was ignorant because I thought it was right until I found out it wasn't. And people talk about me. Oh, he went to God. But that's the only reason. That's the only way I found out that what I was a part of, that they took from it for their self gain to get us to follow them.
Right. That's right.
They use love for hate.
So at the end of the day, it's just not, it's really just not love. Like how everybody else, how they say that it's for the cause. You know what I'm saying?
Self gain.
Right.
If you not doing nothing to help the people, to uplift people, it's all self gain. Because you're not thinking about yourself. See, anything we're doing with the street is self gain. I don't care what nobody say. I'm doing it for my family. Yeah, whatever. It's all self, bro. Because who checked the bread first before the family get it?
Right.
The crumbs.
Right.
So, I don't know. I just, I just, I just want to know. I'm going back to that first question. I just want to know. I want people to know that you can change and you can have a better life. And that's how I want them to see me at the end of all this.
He did the work.
You know what I'm saying? That faith without work is dead. You feel what I'm saying? I had faith that what I believed in was gonna change my life. And it did. It actually did. Like literally.
Yeah. And then you
And
did a lot of work.
absolutely. I had to humble myself a lot because people still try to try you. You feel what I'm saying? Because they want to see if you gonna come out the bag. Because that's who you are to them. But once I seen that I could never be perfect, but I could strive not to do that stuff that I used to do no more. Don't do it no more. That's what I was on. Period. Period. I mean, people say it's hard to get out the street. I was in the street from the age 14. Well, actually, I was in the street from the age 8 from my uncles them.
So it's not really hard to get out the streets, hard to give up the things that come with it.
Absolutely. See, people be so content with what they call getting bread and all like that or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But how could you be content about going to prison? You feel what I'm saying? How? How? It's like these things and you will still go do it. You feel what I'm saying? To be that person. You feel what I'm saying? To be that how we used to say it in school, that clown.
Mm-hmm.
So
So when what do you remember about childhood? Like what's the last age you remember you were actually a kid and you was doing kid things?
never.
Not even like 6.
I was the oldest. So I was raising my cousins with my grandmother. Like literally. My fun was with them
Mm.
and with Pierre them. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't really have no childhood. Like, no. I didn't watch cartoons. I ain't do none of that. We ain't play with no toys. My mama had us with chemistry sets and telescopes and all that type of stuff. We ain't want no. She wasn't on none of that.
So what made you at the age of 8 just be like, all right, let me dibble and dabble and let me try this out real quick? Was it just environment and opportunity?
It was there. It was there. It was like it was there. It was a family thing. So it was like, how could you not either get into it or try it?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just happy I didn't try the drugs and get hooked on 'em. It could have been a whole different story then.
Oh yeah.
So, but it was just there. It was around. It was there. it was the 70s, the 80s. It was there, you know. It was there. Let me just say that. That's what I could say. It was there.
So when did you get like serious where you was like, I'm, I got a reputation. This is real.
When I left home, I was 15. I was 15 years old, and my mama tried to whoop me, and that's when I left home. Cause I told her, I say, Mama, I be out in the street, fighting people and all like that, and and for me to come home to get beat by my mama, that wasn't no good feeling to me no more. So I felt that I was a young adult, and I seen all of it already. So all I had to do is just go put myself in the situation, and that's all I had to do. It wasn't like I had to go find it; it was already there.
So when you left, that went so y'all got into it, and I'm gone. Do you remember being scared in the moment of like the unknown? Like I don't know how this gonna end up, but
No, no, I already knew how it was gonna end up. If my mama was sitting here, she'd tell you. I told her, "Hey, mama, it's only two things out here for me. Either I'm gonna go to jail or they gonna kill me. But I'm gonna be the best of what I'm gonna be while I'm out here."
and you wasn't scared with that at all.
No, for what? For what? What
That's
I'm gonna
good.
be scared for?
I guess if you out here doing it, what is
I
to be scared
mean,
of?
when I was growing up, I seen these people who was out here on the street. When I was growing up, I grew up as a Jehovah's Witness kid, so we was always in the street.
Mm.
We always in field service. We always somewhere. You feel what I'm
And
saying? The
talking to
conquer
people
and
and
talking to
interacting.
people,
Yep.
and so people always seen me. So these people who was in the street, once I transitioned to the street from the truth, they came with me with open arms. So it was like what I was worried about.
Mm-hmm.
I had some times when when you in there, you sleep in the street here and there, sleep over a couple chicks' house or whatever, or sleep wherever, you land that night or whatever. But as far as that, nah, I knew what I was finna do. I was finna get out there. I was finna make a living for myself, and I wasn't gonna have to go back home, and I was gonna be able to take care of my grandmother.
So how long did it take you before were you able to get a place?
Man, I had my own apartment when I was 15 years old. Apartment 206 on Division and Monitor. Everybody talk about it. It's like when I write this book, you gonna see. It's actually it's not even gonna be a book. I'm gonna do screenplays
Hmm.
because that's how it was. I wanna give it to them as it was coming to me as I was going through the day. Through the day, it was so many things that happened, and I wanna give it all to them.
Okay.
If you want to be a part of that life, you gotta understand what that life was really about. One, no slow motion. You might hit one neighborhood, but and you getting into it over here, and you get to the next neighborhood, you into it with them over there. You feel what I'm saying? So it was like action, action all day.
Now when all this is going on and you getting bigger and bigger in the street, does the family know really who you are?
The funny thing about that is, right? They didn't know. Only certain people knew, but like my uncles, well, my auntie, and like Pierre mama, sisters, and all them, they didn't know it first until it had to come out.
Mm-hmm.
So I kept it low. Oh yeah.
So when you would go like to like family gatherings, Thanksgiving, Christmas, or whatever, did you feel some type of way, like almost like you living a double life?
No, because you talking about before they found out?
Mm-hmm.
No, because every day was a holiday at my grandmother's house. So no, no, we always dressed it nice. You know what I'm saying? We always had nice stuff. So it was like I could have my money, but I could still dress the way I want to. I could buy my cars, but I just can't park them on the block. Like that. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? So it nothing. It was just that I was just being respectful to my grandmother,
Mm-hmm.
even though she knew. So yeah, I was really just being respectful to her. That was basically really it.
Okay.
Yeah, but she knew she she knew, and my uncle Herbert. I'm gonna keep it like that.
Did you ever think at any point, okay, this is getting out of hand?
Mm.
I started out this way, and I'm, you know, what I'm saying, I'm all the way over here. You know what I'm supposed to do with this?
No. Be- okay. See, when people like really talk about like when you get in the street and all like that or whatever. When I came to the street, it wasn't like I came to the street like one of these kids asking people for work. You feel what I'm saying? Like I'm literally saying it was there. It was there that I could just go get it, and ain't nobody even gonna miss it.
You just played your part.
It was
Right place at
there.
the right time, so to speak. It just everything just fell into place.
Everything, like literally everything. When I was in the street, everything fell in place. As far as like the police, everything. I never had to work. I know we're gonna get into this part, but I never had to worry about anything in the street. My daddy was who he was. People knew who he was. My uncles then was known as players and all like that. You feel what I'm saying? My granddaddy then was known for who they was, and then I made my own way. So it was like, no.
So having all that access to just everything at such a young age, like how did that change the way you looked at women as a teenager?
I loved the women. I did. Everybody was my baby girl. I mean, this is like she done heard it all already. Everybody was my baby girl. I never knew nobody name. Like I'm telling the truth. And if some of them catch this on TV, they gonna be like, "This dude is crazy. He telling the truth." Yes, everybody's name was baby girl.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Oh,
But the truth is the truth. And what I can say about that is, since you on the part with the women and all like that, that every one of the women, the young ladies that I was messing with at the time and all like that, everybody knew that I wasn't their man. It wasn't a secret. And any of them, because I don't care, they can come up, they gonna all say it. And I told them, if you see me out in the street, you see me. I ain't gonna mess with you. Don't mess with me. We get together when we get together. Period. I always was honest. Always. I learned that from my grandfather them. They was always honest, even if it hurt. So
so when you look at traditional roles in like family, right? So like what one would think a mother is supposed to be like, or a father, or an uncle, or a cousin, or whatever you want to say, that when it's a family where street life is like super prevalent, do you think those roles change?
well, I can only speak from me. The roles I can't say that because it was just me with my generation, my cousins and all like that.
Mm-hmm.
It was just me because they was too little. So nah, the roles with me and my uncles, we never had a role. You know what I'm saying? Everybody lived their own life. I just got in what I fitted in
Mm-hmm.
because I seen that they were still stuck in the 80s and the 90s and they weren't trying to move on into the new millennium
Mm-hmm.
when the time changed from when they was living their life, doing how they did what they did.
I guess they just figured it was too good and they're gonna stay there.
But when time changed, you have to change.
I find a lot of people from that generation are still there. I mean, ain't no other way to say it.
It,
They are still there.
far as like
Everything,
okay.
the way they think, the way they dress, they talk about it like it happened 2 weeks ago. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Well, you do have people like that. I mean, some people don't want to get out of that time.
I mean, but I'm like that generation is bad. Like you see it everywhere. You know, like you might think like, oh, I got an uncle that's like that or whatever. But it's like everybody's got somebody in their family.
Absolutely.
Several people in their family that
Well, I look at it like this here: the ones that stay back there in the past, they just keep us laughing from the things that used to go on.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I look at that. Because yeah, I have an uncle that just talk about like he was he was not Fluky Stokes, but he was Don Juan them or something. You feel what I'm saying? Like he was just the ultimate pimp and all like that. And I grew up with him, so I know.
So you know it's true.
I know. So it's like, okay, yeah, we can laugh about it, whatever. But yeah, I mean, the people that stay back there, that's good sometimes. That's
and
good.
I guess as long as you ain't hurt nobody,
that's
teach
good.
his own.
Yeah, that's good sometimes. But me personally, I love to hear about it, but I wouldn't want to be one of them. I thank God that I'm not one of them people who stuck.
Yeah.
Like just being honest. I thank God for that because I had a choice. I could have came home from where I was at and got right back in the street, and it wouldn't have been no problem. But why? Why do that?
I want to ask right now, but
we
got to get there. But
okay.
just hold that thought. Hold that thought. Okay, so did you go to high school? Let's talk about that. Wait a minute.
Wait, hold up. Okay, want to finish? Let's start with grammar school first.
Yes, sure.
I went to several grammar schools. My last grammar school was Morton Elementary School over there on Keasley, Franklin, and well around there. And they mailed me my grammar school diploma.
Well, damn.
I didn't walk across the stage. I didn't go to the luncheon. None of that.
Because you was terrorizing the school?
No. Not when I was terrorizing the school. It was that when they look at you like in a different area than when you from, and you stand on it, who you are, and all like that, that makes a lot of problems. People don't like that.
Okay.
So that's what that really was. Do you get what I'm saying?
So they just basically just excluded you?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I was standing on it. I wasn't gonna let the teachers or nothing do nothing to me. So really, did I go to high school? I got enrolled in Farragut. I went through a couple of years of going to what was that called? Where we thought that we go to division, we in class all day.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I did that.
Okay.
For a few years, and I guess that was called going to high school.
When did you just say, I'm good, I'm done?
It was a racial riot at Farragut, and I wasn't in school that day. But the guys that I hung with, it was, like I said, a racial fight, and we was the dudes who wore like the socks jackets and all like that. So we all got kicked out of school, and I wasn't even there.
Wow.
So that's how I'm gonna say that. I got kicked out of school. Mr. Fullanoy, the vice principal, he wouldn't let me back in. He got to talking about my family, my bad my uncles and was, and then I was going to the school and all like that, and they didn't let me back in. So I was like, Grandma, it's over with. And it was up with. I never thought about school no more, and school was street.
Mm-hmm.
That was it. School was street, and I was gonna learn it as it was going. So yeah, no, I didn't really attend high school.
Okay. Okay. I was just curious. Like, well, there's a lot going on, but I don't,
No,
hear
I
about.
mean, it was too much going on. I mean, it's crazy to say this, but it was too much going on to even go to school.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, people can say what they want to say and all like that. When you getting up and you making $150,000 a day, what you going to
Who
school for?
school? Where?
Like,
What?
I mean, if people like really be honest, people don't be honest. You know what I'm saying? You only thing I can say is when I was in the street, it was never a bad day.
I can see that.
Never. And I felt that that was gonna be my life until the day I died, as long as I didn't do nothing to hurt nobody. And that's what I was striving for. I was striving to live that life until the day I died.
So your childhood and your adolescence is super unorthodox, right?
Yeah.
When you sit and kind of reflect on that, would you say not necessarily like physically safe, but would you say like emotionally you were safe?
No. To growing up with my family
Yeah.
members, nah. It,
When did you realize that?
that it wasn't safe.
Yeah.
Probably when I got into the street. I mean, when I was like 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, everything was all good. You know what I'm saying? Because I was a kid. But when I started seeing anyone safe, I was a teenager.
Okay.
Yeah, I was a teenager when I seen like because my family was so like segregated, like for real. You know, you had the ones that try to mentor you or tell you what to do. You know, you had the ones that want to have fun and be with you. You know what I'm saying? And then you had the ones that was just stern and mean. And you know, if you wasn't coming around them to get whatever they was giving you, you know what I'm saying? Don't even come around, or you weren't listening and
Mm-hmm.
doing as they say. So that's how my family was. So it was like it was easy to choose who you wanted to really go hang out with. You know what I'm saying? I went and hang out with Uncle Herbert because I know he was stern, but we still had a relationship. You feel what I'm saying? I go hang out with Kenny and Auntie Kelly because I know they gonna tell me some stuff that's gonna put some meat on my head. You know, but I go hang with my uncle August, and my uncle Steve, Uncle Chris, them. You feel what I'm saying? Because I know we gonna play in the street. So really, I just played it how it supposed to win. So it was I grew up pretty good. I grew up pretty good to where I'm right here.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? And I listened and I didn't listen to people, and it got me right here. You know, and I did things and didn't do things, and it got me right here talking to you.
So the way that you absorb the different resources that you was getting from all sides of your family and like the way that they gave it to you, right? It
Hmm.
made you feel a certain type of way. Sometimes you received it well, other times you felt like you was being judged and whatever.
Hmm.
But now when you talk about your own children or like people who come to you for like mentorship,
Hmm.
do you consider how it felt to you when people were trying to give you some game? Do you like apply those things that I want to make sure I handle this with kid gloves because when they told me in this way, I felt like this.
Well, actually, you just answered it for me, because yeah, that's how I look at it now. Sometimes I'm still rough at the feathers. You know, I'm still learning. You know, that side still come out of me a little bit of the sternness and all like that. I My thing is I have to learn how to deliver it.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? I could still be all them three ways, but it's just how I deliver it and how I play with you, how we talk, and how I listen.
right.
Feel what I'm saying? I'm gonna do all that anyway. Through all the three situations, the three people. You know what I'm saying? But it's just how you do it. So again, I can say that I we had a great life.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm gonna say we. You know what I'm saying? Because I dealt with everybody in my family. From yeah, everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Did you ever have the younger ones trying to follow in your footsteps, trying to get you to put them on?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
How
I,
did you feel about that?
um, I wanted to help, but it was the ones who was coming to me that I knew that if I stepped in that with them, that it was gonna be problems. You feel what I'm saying? And it wasn't that I was scared of them, but I respected how they was raising their nephew. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't going, even though I wanted to. And I know, and I could just say it. My cousin probably was mad at me a few times.
But I don't want that for you.
It wasn't. I wanted him to be happy. I wanted him to have whatever he wanted to have, but I didn't want to go through that with his uncles.
Mm,
See what I'm saying?
totally get that.
Because they was all blue collar besides one.
Mm-hmm.
You feel what I'm saying? Well, he was blue collar in a way too, but he played with the street too a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But no, I didn't, and I didn't want to be the person that if anything happened to my cousin, you feel what I'm saying? I don't want to have to go answer to them.
Right.
Like, so, yeah. And then a few of my cousins I did help, and that wasn't good. But I'm not angry at them. You know what I'm saying? I'm not bitter at the situation because I wanted to help. You see what I'm saying? So I really fought at me because now they blame me for their life. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They blame me because they bit at what they wanted. I ain't come to you and say, hey man, hey man, you gonna do this, man. We gonna get this, the family. I was straight. If the family needed something from me, anybody could get it from me. No problem. If I got it, which I did, and if they really wanted it, come get it. So, I don't know. When you talk about that family stuff, man, it's like
it could be a lot. It's got a lot of layers.
But one thing I could say is if I didn't go through all what I went through with my family, again, I wouldn't be sitting here.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't have all this wisdom. Like all that stuff was wisdom. Even though they were saying it in their crazy ways and all like that or whatever. But I looked at it when I sat back and I thought about the things that the people in the family were saying to me. I was like, even though they didn't know how to deliver it, you know what I'm saying? Because everything back then was you listen, you shut up, and you ain't got nothing to say back. You know what I'm saying? Even when we was grown.
Yeah.
So, to just weed out all the other stuff that they were saying and just stick to the me part, they actually gave some good wisdom. You know what I'm saying? That stuck with me.
And I'm pretty sure now, as grown men, you come across a lot of situations where you be like, I get that now.
Absolutely.
So I get that now.
Absolutely. And then I'm still learning. But yeah, man, what? I look at people now and I just shake my head and be like, calm yourself down. Because people gonna think a different way how you finna react to what just happened.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes my reactions do be, like really way out when I think about them later on. But sometimes it was necessary at that time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I realized, like with me growing up with my parents and the elders talking, however they did it and the way they did it, however they said it, it's supposed to went like that. You feel what I'm saying? Because there would have been no other way I'd have understood it.
Mm-hmm.
If they probably been nice and talking to me, I'd be like, oh.
Just daydreaming about what you about to eat.
Absolutely, and what I'm finna go get into.
Yep.
But they did give me something that, that I held on to, and like you said with my kids, that I had a strange relationship with my kids. You know what I'm saying? But once we once they got older and really seeing what was going on, you feel what I'm saying? Then now I could talk to them how the adults was talking to me for my kids not to go in a way that I went.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And so far so good.
Okay.
Yeah, not to get off like that, but yeah, so far
No,
so
I get.
good.
No, I get it. I
Yeah,
get it.
so far so good.
Okay. So street life is now escalating, and we about to approach one of them inevitable endings. Um, how how did we get there?
I don't understand that question.
So you in the street life. You know how they say you either penitentiary or you
Mm-hmm.
dead. Usually those are the two
Right.
outcomes.
Okay.
You're obviously still here.
Absolutely. So how I got to that outcome was the choices that I was still making. Like, I didn't even have to be in the street no more,
Mm-hmm.
but I I chose to do something that I knew I shouldn't have did, and that's how I ended up in prison. I knew if I wouldn't have chose to get back into that life again, none of that would have never happened.
So you had actually chilled out for a while.
Oh man, for a while. For a while, I chilled out for a while, and family will bring you back out sometime.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And when you love people to a certain extent, you'll put your hand out there a little bit. And I was already safe, and I put my hand back out there, and what I didn't know is God's will and all like that. You gonna play?
I was just about to ask you if you think that.
That's what he did. That's exactly what he did.
And how much time did you get?
75 years.
So when you was given the 75 years,
Mm-hmm.
what was it like in that moment? Like when you after you heard the S on years?
I heard my grandmother scream, and I turned around and I told him, "It's gonna be okay. I'm gonna get out." I said, "It's gonna be okay, Grandma." I say, they just wanted me out the way right now. I said, but it's gonna be okay, and that's how calm I was. I couldn't, I couldn't explode. First off, I had too much pride. You know what I'm saying? And even though I didn't do that, I lived that life. So the game just caught up with me. So why would I whimper up now? You feel what I'm saying? Why would I do that? I wasn't doing that when I was living in the street, doing what I was doing. So I couldn't break down. I had to be that. You feel what I'm saying? But once I got there,
That was gonna be my next question.
go ahead.
Like how long did it take you to just sit in it before you realize this is what's happening right now?
To be honest, it didn't set on me because I was when I first got there, I was in the cell. I was in a 1-man cell because I didn't like smoking and all like that or whatever. So, but I had let this dude anyway get in my cell, and just being cool with him and all like that. You know what I'm saying? He started helping me with my appeal and all like that and stuff, and he did something to me. He not like physically. He just was talking crazy, and he told me, he said, if the penitentiary was still open like it used to be back in the 80s and the early 90s, you would be my broad.
Okay.
It hit me right then and there. I say, this man talking crazy to me. He don't even know who I am. He read my case, you feel what I'm saying? But the case is showing like this dude, nah, he ain't. You know, it's showing this, even though I'm here, as I was there, and it hit me. And I told him, I say, man, you got 30 years, I got 75 years, and you in here talking about if the joint was open. I said, well, make me know it. Make me know it. And that's when it hit me. And after that incident, I opened the Bible up because they was finna take me to Kazi, Illinois, to their county to charge me with a case.
How long had that been for when you got there?
Ooh, like 4 years. It was my fourth year in. Yeah, and after the end, I started searching the word. I have to say it. I was a Muslim. I was a 5%er. I was one of them dudes who wore the red hat thing. I forgot what they call themselves.
A Harry Krishna?
Yeah, that I was messing with them in prison and all like that. One day I picked up the Bible out of all that stuff, and I seen how divided they was and all like that. You know, I always knew about Jesus and all like that. You know, being Jehovah's Witness or whatever. You know, when I seen how they was vibing and all like that, man, I opened up the Bible and it said His word cannot return back to Him void. And I told God while I was in prison, I said, if you want me to believe this, you have to show me that your word cannot come back to you void. And I'm your living word because I'm reading now. Mm-hmm. So I'm understanding. And I looked up and they was calling me, telling me I was coming back, man. And it just happened just like that. When I changed my life, God changed everything. Like, for real. These people called me in prison. It's showing that you couldn't have did this. I said, I know. We're going to give you a call back in the next week. I ain't get a call back. It was a red bell ringing in Menard Correctional Facility. Anybody who ever been there, it was a red bell ringing and showing that I was getting released from state prison back to the county jail for a new trial. I mean, it happened just like that.
And how long had you been there at this point?
5.5 years.
Okay. So if we go back a little bit, so after the 4 years, that's when you kind of started to search the word. Mm-hmm. Now, you know, the Muslim experience, the 5% experience, because I
could tell you what I like about all of them.
I tried to get knowledge of self, and that's the only time I'm gonna use the word try, because it's what it was. But like, what was it about those that was missing?
They didn't believe that Jesus came back and died for our sins, gave up His life for our sins, and we live by grace and mercy. They didn't believe that. They were still searching.
Grace and mercy.
They were still searching. They were still believing that they was living in the old times, that they had to be barbaric and all like that. Like, I mean, this stuff was serious. The Muslims don't play no games.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But what I liked about the Muslims, I want to get on the good part about them. What I liked about them was their discipline. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I liked it that, because they believed in what they believed in. You feel what I'm saying? And they stood on that. Mm-hmm. You know, I liked it that. I'm not saying that I liked it what they was talking about. You feel what I'm saying? But they practiced that they was doing. I really liked it that. You know, for the Moorish Americans, it was more. It was their togetherness too. You know what I'm saying? But they was all lacking that one thing: love. Mm-hmm. It was all about control. Now, people could say about the Bible all that control, whatever. Yeah, okay, but that control go all the way with the sacrifice. Mm-hmm. You feel what I'm saying? it hasn't been a sacrifice for none of these other religions yet. And they mad and they believe. So they still waiting on what we already have.
Mm.
So once I seen that we ain't gotta fight for this, we ain't gotta argue about nobody about it. We just gotta believe it.
I like that perspective.
You gotta believe. If you don't believe it, anything.
Yeah, what we do?
So I chose to believe that what's inside of this body has it breathing is my creator. And he blew this in me that came from him for I could live on this great earth.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I choose to believe.
Okay.
I
So
mean,
and then you're starting to practice it,
mm-hmm,
and then you get the call,
mm-hmm,
and then I know you're probably like,
mm-mm,
just right away.
because I knew, because I'm reading. God is never cold or warm. He's straight hot. So if he brought this to me, it's finna happen. I have to believe that. I have to believe that. If I can believe in you, who I can see, but I can't believe in who both got us living and breathing, who spoke your life and spoke this moment, how could you not believe in that? Somebody did it, and I chose to believe it was the person who blew life into the first man.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I don't care what nobody else believes. I ain't gonna talk about your belief. Only thing I can say is I'm gonna pray for you because you still searching for something that's already happened.
Right.
First off, it already happened because he spoke it. So it happened already. He spoke it before the physical. So it happened already. So how could you not believe it?
I just recently heard something where somebody talked about how our future is so like in a situation where you're a single person, whether you're a man or a woman, so you're looking for your wife or your husband. Mm-hmm. They speak life into that future relationship, mm-hmm. and they use the analogy that you eating a cookie and you accidentally dropped a cookie. So for you, you just lost this piece of food, right? Mm-hmm. But to ants, bugs, things that dwell on the ground, mm-hmm. they gotta stumble upon what you dropped.
Absolutely.
For you, it's in the past, mm-hmm. but for them, it's in the future. Absolutely. That's their future meal. Absolutely. Once they come across it. So I'm sitting there thinking about that, like, what? But yeah, it's written.
It is written.
It definitely is written.
Everything works out, good and evil, because God created this, y'all. I want y'all to understand this. Nothing was created without him. And it's all for his good pleasure. So he can have you could be doing something wrong, but it's going to show somebody else something that they should not do. Mm-hmm. See what I'm saying? So it's still for his good pleasure, because that person who's breathing his breath of life is seeing and understanding what they should or should not be doing.
What role do you think intention plays in it?
What role do I think intention play in it?
Yeah, because like, you know how people will say, I did bad things before a good reason? Whatever that means.
Well, as far as that part, that's people in self. Now, people might not understand, but what I'm talking about is spiritual, not the flesh. See what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So God did that everything for me. What anything that happened in the street, that was really like self, but it was still something that, let me say this right. It was self, but it was shown in God's own way, something to somebody else, not for them to do the things that I was doing. Mm-hmm. See what I'm saying? But it was self what I was doing because
Yeah.
it was for me. It wasn't for nobody else. It wasn't to help nobody. Everything I was doing was to break everybody down for my self gain.
Mhm.
So yeah.
So when you had that situation with dude when he said that to you in prison, and then you was kind of sitting in that, like, I'm here. This is my reality. It's everywhere around me. You know what I'm saying? If it wasn't him saying that, it probably would have been somebody else. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it could have been.
Before you picked up the Bible, was there anger and hate in that, or was it just like I'm just lost and I'm just trying to figure it out?
First off, I was gonna stay in the game. And it always leads back to this. My grandmother. My grandmother came to me while I was in prison. And she told me, hey, find your God. Find your peace. And that's what I did. That was my peace.
Okay.
This is my God. You feel what I'm saying? Like, who spoke the heavens and the earth? Who spoke all the animals? Who spoke us? Who spoke generations and generations and generations still to come? Because it's not going to stop. So that's what I chose to believe in. And for me, it's working.
Yeah.
I could just tell people to just go search and see.
True.
You feel what I'm saying?
And I mean, you got a hell of a testimony.
Yeah, I mean, I think if it wasn't for the plan that God had for me, matter of fact, I can't even worry about that.
Right. Right.
Because the plan he had for me is great right now.
Mm-hmm.
And it was great back then because despite of everything I was doing, and I'm thinking I'm big and tough and all like that, he was still saving me.
Yeah.
He was still saving me. He was saving me in my mess.
In a big, huge way.
Absolutely. You feel what I'm saying?
You leave Menard, go back to the county, new trial. Okay. So when you communicated this to the family,
they knew before me.
Okay. They reached out to them to get your info. That makes sense.
Yeah, because it was a lot of things going on. They was trying to pick people who was going to come back to trial for me and testify and all that stuff. So they had to talk to my family before all this stuff even transpired. So yeah.
So how did they find out about you?
Once I got found guilty, they put you in for a retrial. So your stuff go to the appellate court. So in the appellate court, there's 3 panels of judges. There's 3 judges that go and look into your case and to see that if there's anything wrong and anything like that, where you can come back or get a time reduce or a new trial or just get exonerated and get kicked out right then and there. So these people came and the 3 panels of judges agreed concurrently that whatever they did, that it was against the law, and they brought me back to court.
How long did your new trial last?
2 days.
2 days? How long was the first trial?
Like almost 2 months.
2 days?
Yeah.
So
could I tell you what happened?
Yeah.
I just want to go and get to it. So the 2 people, well, one of the persons got back up there and they, start saying what happened and all like that or whatever. The judge looking at him, he stopped him and say, "Get off the stage, get off the stand or whatever." Ooh. Then it was another witness against me that was in the hallway. But the lawyers that I had and the law school that I was using that picked up my case too as well, they was in the hallway just, listening. The boy was out there, the young man was out there saying, "I'm not finna go back in there and lie on that man." But that was the start of it. When the dude got there and he said what the dude said in the hallway and all like that, he got him off the stand. But they said what happened, that it happened with my right hand. Specifically. So we was going to recess and the judge threw a pen and I caught it with my left hand and he said, "You can go home." And I said, what? He said, you can go home. He didn't say not guilty. He said, you can go home. And me not knowing that he was going to throw an ink pen or anything, bro. I'm getting up from behind the bench, the thing, with my lawyer. I'm walking around for to go back through the back door, crossing past him. He threw the ink pen, man, and I caught it with my left hand. He said, you can go home as I was walking out the door.
So how long did that actual process take for you to you actually foot on the street, breathing the air?
Well, what they did was they held me an extra day. They said they held me an extra day to make sure I didn't have any warrants anywhere out of state and all like that or whatever before they let me go. So they held me overnight. So when I got up that morning, my lawyers and stuff was already down there with the family, and they came and got me. The lawyers came and got me, Jenner and Block. Yeah, they came and got me from out of off the deck. Yeah. So yeah, they held me a whole extra night. They ain't want to let me go. They ain't want to let me go. But they ain't had no other choice. And I was just looking at them because they was like, "Are you finna get back out in the street and just go back out in the street and just do this and do that?" And just to let people know, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like I went out there and was just like, "Oh, I'm in the Bible and I'm on God and all like that." No, I slipped. You feel what I'm saying? I backslid, but I caught myself though. You feel what I'm saying? I seen myself getting myself into something, and I was like, nah, I don't feel it. You feel what I'm saying? I don't feel it, and I know if I get back into this, I gotta have all the bread. So that means nobody in my area could get no bread. So there was no reason for me to go through all that because I'm back up in prison for some stuff I done stupidly that I had no reason to do it. So to let people know, don't think it's like all peaches and cream. He into the Bible. Nah, it ain't that. It ain't all peaches and cream. That's when the devil fights you more. When you working with the devil, he don't fight with you, cause you doing his will. When you ain't working with him, man, please. I'm at war every day, cuz.
Yeah.
So
when you were fresh out, how long did it take you to just realize, okay, if I'm gonna do this, I got to do it?
Talking about just walking a straight line. I got out in 2007, like 2012.
Okay.
No, I can't lie. I'm gonna be honest. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I didn't really know about the word like that, and then I never experienced being around what they call church folks. It's different when you read the word and then you get around people who into the word who act like the street. See what I'm saying? Yeah. So I was having that type of problem. Like, man, I might as well just stay in the street. You feel what I'm saying? Now I gotta like slight way go slap him. You feel what I'm saying? like just being honest. You know what I'm saying? Because now I can't be like I was in the street. Just go hit you in your mouth. You know what I'm saying? Now I gotta. So it was.
Was it kind of like an out of body experience though? Like just kind of knowing that if this had just been a few years ago, I wouldn't even be sitting here thinking to myself and talking to myself in my head. It would have already been dealt with. But now I have to sit here and figure this out.
That's when I understood humility.
Shit. Okay.
So now the word talking to me, the Bible talking to me, because I have to humble myself, because if I don't, he gonna be in trouble. The wrong trouble. I'm like, I can go back. You feel what I'm saying? Then I had to grow up. How I'm gonna go back, and how If I go back, how I'm gonna do his will? I can do it. I thought about that. Yeah, I can't do it in there for the rest of my life.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I could. But why do that? So I'm gonna humble myself. I'm gonna look at him and I'm gonna do what the word said. Speak it. Speak it. That's your weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Speak it. So now that's what I do to people. I tell people this because God say, do not mess with his anointing.
But how do you break through the weirdness? So specifically, what I'm saying is, I've always had this happen to me in the grocery store or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't have that in me to be like disrespectful or to be like get away from me or like just keep walking. You know what I'm saying? So there's this one lady, she was a Jehovah Witness, and I was in the grocery store trying to hurry up. I was in a rush, and I had got an emergency phone call. But the lady walked up to me, but it was her energy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I stopped what I was doing and I gave her the time that she was asking for. I was listening to what she had to say.
Mm-hmm.
She gave me a pamphlet or whatever, and she walked away from me. And I'm, going through the store. She came back, and she was like, "I just want to say, you must be, you must come from a nice lady, or you know what I'm saying, because you super respectful." She was like, "I saw you had some stuff going on, but you didn't roll your eyes at me or tell me to get away from you, or, you listened to what I had to say."
Mm-hmm.
So thank you, I appreciate that. And she just walked away. It was that simple.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I see people all the time where even like amongst like family, where you might have somebody in your family that they into the word, they spiritual.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But everybody else is not.
Mm-hmm.
So when you come and preach the word or talk about your experience, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And like people kind of like when you get that vibe, like how you deal with that? Or do
After
you get that?
after after I give it to them, however they receive it is on them.
I love that.
Like, I mean, what else? What could I do?
Mm-hmm.
If you don't want to receive it, that's on you.
Yeah.
And how I got to that is with the word of God.
Mm-hmm.
He ain't gonna make us do nothing. If you want to do it, do it.
You got a choice.
See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I'm at with people. If I'm giving you something that's good that could help you, and you okay, all right, but I know you heard me,
Mm-hmm.
and you gonna run into a situation like that because I was that type of person. I ain't trying to hear none of that, but I was honest.
Yeah.
And I'm saying this on camera and everything. When I went into the street, I did not holler, "Oh God, help me. Oh God, get me up out of this." When I was in it, but when I learned that I could get out of it, and because I didn't know what was going on, that what I was serving was what it really was, I had another chance.
Mm-hmm.
So I ran with that. I ran with that with faith that I have another chance because I did not know that these people that had us in these organizations was using the word of God for self-gain. And it tells what happens to the people who does it. Look at them. And that's all I'm going to say. Look at everybody who made lit, law, and all like that. Where are they at?
Yeah. Sure.
And they took and from the word of God for their self-gain to harm people, and where they at.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I have nothing against it. That's what you did. You love that. And you still on that. And I have nothing against that. But if you really sit back and look at it, you know what you did wrong.
Right. Right.
So once I think that I wasn't charged for that and I can get out of what I was a part of,
Yeah.
you feel what I'm saying? I wasn't going back.
But then also too, you never, like you said like earlier, like you never blamed anybody else for choices that you made.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like you took responsibility, you know what I'm saying, for the things that you actually did do. And the time, you know what I'm saying, you reflected on those things and let me learn from my mistakes, as opposed to some people who it's documented, and there's evidence that you did all kinds of things. But who cares about the some of that minute stuff? Let's talk
Mm-hmm.
about the movements that you've created and just how the gravity of your effect.
Okay, absolutely. Well,
But not you. I'm saying like
right.
that. Like there's a lot of people that are still affecting the way we live day to day. The people around us, what I'm saying, gang
Absolutely.
banging, all kind of different things, and they
Absolutely.
still in there. I don't know what you're talking about. I ain't did nothing. I mean, I feel like personally, if you would just kind of sit in that and really think about, what you did, that you'll free yourself in that way.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Because you're really only hurting yourself.
Only thing I can say is I could only talk for like my experiences.
Mm-hmm.
So when I went through that situation and the self reflect and all like that, it really helped me.
Yeah.
Like it really, I really, I really sat back and seen the person who I used to be, and I just thank God again for just protecting me because I was stupid. I sit back and I think about all the danger that I put myself in.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That 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 if it wasn't the will of God, I wouldn't have had no kids. It wouldn't have been none of that. You know what I'm saying? He made it where even though I was going through all this stupid stuff, I had he made it where I had generations. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I thank him for so much, y'all. It's like you just don't understand how much I thank him for.
But you don't wear your past at all, because I believe I met you in 2012, which is when you said that you realize, what, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it.
Hmm.
And I've known um him since like 1999, I guess, and like sprinkled in between 99 and 2012. Your name was mentioned a bunch of times. I would hear little stuff here and there, and like the impression that I got, right, what I created of you in my imagination,
Hmm.
I'm just gonna be fully honest with you. I met your brother first.
Right.
I've never seen him before in my life. The very first thing he said to me was, "You love him, we love you. You don't love him no more.
We
We
don't
don't
love
love
you
you
no
no
more.
more."
Absolutely.
So I respected that in a real way, you know what I'm saying? Because like I don't like people who bullshit. I really don't. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, low key, that's a little aggressive, you know what I'm saying? But I respect that.
Hmm.
So I took that and I was like, oh shit, what's the brother gonna be like? You know what I'm saying?
Ah,
So
man.
then I can't even remember. It was like a holiday or something. He was coming over. I swear, I was like, I was really like, okay, I don't know how this gonna go. We got to think about this. Everything got to be perfect. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what the fuck might happen. You know what I'm saying? We just got to be cool. And then
Nah.
when you came, I'm like, what? And then there's one thing that I will never, ever, ever, ever forget. My oldest, well, yeah, my oldest right now, she when she was little, she was terrified of butterflies. Like she'll run off the curb into the damn street.
Hmm.
She was scared.
Hmm.
And I was sitting on the couch and she was crying because she was coming home from school and she seen the damn butterfly.
Hmm.
So he was asking her, well, what's wrong with you? And then she was talking about the butterfly.
Hmm.
And you told her, yeah, I'm scared of butterflies too. And y'all sat there and had a 12-minute conversation. And I'm sitting there like, I don't know what the hell's happening right now. But, like, don't judge a book by its cover. But you're always been consistent though. You know what I'm saying? Like you just I love how you learn from your mistakes, but in every sense of the word,
Yeah,
to grow and become a better person.
absolutely.
And you don't like spread negativity around, the people that are around you. What I see from you is you are really encouraging, and you're pulling out positive things in people and nurturing the different things that they got going on. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And like your wife said earlier, like you can see the calling on your life even before you did.
Yeah, yeah. Again, I just say that I thank God for everything that He done. Like you just don't understand. Like man, he did so much.
Mm-hmm.
So much done happened that he done changed it around. And it's like the words say, he when he see you as like a jewel. You feel what I'm saying? No wrong. And that's what it is now, cuz I'm showing people that we ain't gotta do nothing wrong.
Mm-hmm.
We ain't gotta do nothing, y'all. Only we sat here to do one thing: love on people.
Mm-hmm.
I always loved people. I always loved on people. You feel what I'm saying? They just used that what I was doing in the street to try to push that part away.
Yeah.
To try to make it seem like I was this. Yeah, I was to the street, but not to my family.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they wanted to involve themselves
Right.
with the street.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you ever had no family like that. We having a conversation and you want to involve yourself in my thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, fall back. So yeah, man, it's I don't know. I just want to talk about a lot, but I'm gonna stick where I'm at.
So let's talk about cooking.
Oh man.
Now, when did you discover that I'm pretty good at this, and this definitely should be a thing?
um, dang. I don't know. I always cooked, but one day, I started making salads,
I remember that.
and and the salad. This lady told me, she said, I want some ahi tuna. I didn't know what this was, but I went and found it for this lady, and I tasted it. You know, I bought a couple of them, so I tasted it, you know, raw and all like that. And I was like, okay, I know what I'm finna do to this to make this lady really love this. And when I did it, and when she tasted, and she was like, "You sure this is this? Because it don't taste like this." I showed her the package, and I said, "Yes, here we go." So once once she did that to me, and she didn't even understand what she was eating, that was it right there. That was it right there. That was it. Like for real. She didn't even understand what she was eating. She was looking for another taste that she was used to.
Probably fishy.
You know, none of that. And then once I did that, yeah, and then basically that was the one. No, no, I'm lying. I cooked for my grandmama.
Gotta do it.
There was that's it. Let me get to it. I cooked for my grandmama, and she was just up there doing like this.
What did you make?
Oh man, greens, sweet potatoes, macaroni and cheese, just soul food, and man, she tasted them greens, and she got the shaking and moving, and I was looking at her. She said, "Timothy," well, no, I'm lying. She said, "Poo poo, you can cook like grandma, huh?" And I said, "Sure can, grandma." And from there, that was it. When my grandma gave me the approval, it was it. And then hold up, no, it's another time too. See, I could, cause the truth. My uncle Johnny, rest in peace. Barbecue every 4th of July. My uncle was doing it first. My uncle August was doing it first. I came home. I always knew how to barbecue. That's my thing too. And I started taking over the barbecue for my uncle. Them they started, and when the people start coming over to my Uncle Johnny house and saying they don't want none of the sides, they just want all the meat. Like for real. They said they didn't want none of the sides, they want all the meat. They was taking the meat home to put with their food to eat for the rest of the week. They used to tell me like over the years, bro. Like they was like, man, you stopped cooking for Uncle Johnny, man. 1 year, man, that food was so burnt. I was like, hey, but that's what it was, and I got many more stories, but them was three. Them was three. And then hold up, my breakfast food. What really made me say that I was gonna do that? Pierre and Latrice.
Mm.
When I was over to their house, well, over to her house, and I cooked them breakfast burritos. I cooked them breakfast burritos. Pierre was like, man, trees don't eat that much. You know what I'm saying? Pierre tasted them burritos. I was like, yeah, cuz. Yeah, I could do this, y'all. We need to get together. Come on, y'all. Everybody pick out a dish that y'all good at. You know what I'm saying? We all critique it. You feel what I'm saying? And let's make something happen. See, that's what I really want to do, cuz. Not to get off to that like that, but that's what I really want to do. You feel
Like
what
a
I'm
supper
saying?
club type deal.
We open up something and you might have two good dishes that you might have many, you know what I'm saying? But two. You feel what I'm saying? I got two. Somebody else got two. Now we got a whole restaurant with dishes that we know A1. You feel what I'm saying? And we feeding the people. That's what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want to do, bro. I cater my own wedding.
Yes. Let's talk about that. Now I'm still pissed because I couldn't go.
Well,
it is what
I'm
it
pretty
is.
sure he brought you some food home.
No.
Oh, he didn't make it.
Hell no, they make it. You want to talk about devastation? Now I'm sitting here listening to the shit you said he did what? But he got married. But he was getting married. Like he was getting married at his wedding.
Yeah.
And then I just kept thinking to myself like, what the hell? Where'd that come from?
And could I tell you something?
Yeah.
The food I cooked that morning. I cooked the food, had to go pick up the wedding cake.
Have mercy.
And get to the wedding, and I left the ring at home.
Sound about right.
I did all that and left the ring at home.
Mm-hmm. Well, I heard it wasn't a dissatisfied person in the house.
Well, only thing I can say is, whatever I put my hands to, it's gonna be blessed. It's gonna be good. It ain't gonna be nothing that you ever tasted. You're gonna be like, man, it seemed like something my mama would cook, but with a twist to it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
What's your favorite thing to cook?
I don't have one. Everything I cook. I don't have a favorite because I don't have a favorite.
How do you challenge yourself? Like I pick a new ingredient to focus on every month if I get bored.
Well, I challenge myself every day when I cook because it's like when I cook, how I marinate my food and all like that is like a different game every time.
Mm.
See, I don't put all that pepper and all that stuff on my food. Like for my spiciness, I use radish. Feel
Radish.
What I'm saying? Yes, it's healthy. And radish got spiciness. Feel what I'm saying? It's got the hotness to it if you want to, however you put it in there. You see what I'm saying? I use vegetables to season my food.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna definitely talk about that.
Yeah, so when you eat my food, it's like you have a whole different feeling in your body. I have a little cousin, Kingston, Kalisha's son. He eat my food. He said, "Oh, cousin, it's so good for my belly." Yeah. It is good for your belly, cousin. It is. But that's every time he eat my food, "Oh, cousin, it's so good for my stomach." I know, man. And that's how I want to feed the people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I want them to, when you eat my food, it's not just good, but it's healthy for you. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Cause I changed the taste of pork. You hear me? Some of that meat y'all was eating at the wedding was pork. They didn't even know it.
Too bad I didn't know.
So I mean, it's just the way that I do things. I love to just make people be happy that they ate that
Mm-hmm.
they had that experience. Oh my God. And I keep it moving.
Okay. Let's talk about truly blessed.
Ooh, okay. Truly blessed. That's really something really personal to me. You know, it's come from me being truly blessed, but it comes from my son, Terrell, because that's how it's spelled. Truel. That's my son name. And my son got shot twice in the back of the head and he survived. And I just wanted to use his name, because it went with truly blessed instead of just Truly.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I and he just truly blessed, and I'm truly blessed, and it was really for my baby. That's what it was,
Mm-hmm.
because he survived through what he survived through, and that was a real testimony of a 15-year-old getting shot in his temple, in his cerebellum, and survived point blank range.
It's crazy.
So that was what that was all about. And then about me too, you know what I'm saying, going through what I went through and all like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that truly blessed, that brand is it really means something to me, you know. And truly blessed is being me, is being you, is being him, her, him. You know what I'm saying? We all truly blessed. So I just want people to understand what the reason why I spelled well. Let me go back. She did it first, but she didn't know that that's how I spelled my son's name. On our machine, she put a tag on our machine and she spelled it that way. I was spelling it the regular way, but I couldn't use that because somebody had already had that. So I had to switch the way it was spelled.
Mm.
And the way it was spelled, it was my son's first name. You know what I'm saying? So that's how the name came to be that way. But Truly Blessed was really meant for me and my son
Okay.
and our life experience
Yeah.
and how we made it through it. So, yeah.
And speaking about your wife, um, how would you say, like, when you started out, your relationship prior to being married,
Mm-hmm.
she she changed your life?
Yes, she did change my life. She did. Um, when I first met her, she asked the pastor of our church, could she come speak a word over me? And she said what she had to say about my heart and all like that. What type of person it seemed like I was and all like that. But to come back to all that, somebody had came and prophesied to her and told her husband was coming to the church. And guess who walked to the church?
I see. So after she spoke over you, how long before y'all started actually dating?
About a month or two. I say about a month. Yeah, about a month. We was always like talking to each other. It didn't start off as us having trying to have a relationship. Actually, we was like just as a men say at the church I go to, it's like iron sharp as iron. What we was doing was we was like let's just talking to each other about the word, and stuff like that, and just getting to know each other in that spiritual way. And it just happened. We was together, and now, and we said, "Come on, let's get married," and we got married, and here we go.
What made you? Well, as far as deciding that you wanted to marry her, was it like a long process? Where you was kind of hanging out with yourself, trying to figure out, do I really want to do this, or you just knew that that's part of this is part of my story?
Well, I knew that I wanted to be married. I wanted a wife, and cause it just happened. It wasn't a plan. It wasn't none of that. I don't know how she was seeing it. You feel what I'm saying? Cause far as she knew, it was like she wasn't looking for no man. You know what I'm saying? So that's how.
You can talk, by the way.
That's what she. That's what she. Oh yeah. Well, that was all in the process. There was a lot going on. I had one of the brothers was at the church, and I was talking to him or whatever, and I seen her, and I was like, man, I want to hug her. And then that's when everything started. I said it all backwards.
That was before
Right.
she spoke.
Right.
Okay.
Right. I said that I wanted to get her a hug and all like that. And then that's when he told me about the dude coming to speak to her and telling her that her husband was coming to the church and all like that. And she did that move that you said, you know what I'm saying? And 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 just what happened, just what was going on to my in my life in Chicago led me to Indiana. Never in a million years would think I would be in living in Indiana.
It was kind of random.
You know what I'm saying? So it was like the situation that was going on. I was in the backslide because, excuse me, I was tired of living that life. You know, I was trying to do good. You know, I was trying to work a job. I was trying to do this, and there's so much stuff was going on. So I was in the backslide. One of my homies was finna put me back in the game, and my cousin Kalisha called me just out of the clear blue, and she was like, "Cuz, something wrong. I ain't heard from you." Woo. So I just told her what was going on, you know, and she was like, "I'm finna come get you." I put my clothes together. She came and picked me up. I moved to Indiana, and bam, everything else happened.
Now,
I met my wife, got the clothing line going, got the ministry finna head off and go. I mean, it's like we doing stuff, we setting it up where we doing stuff for the neighborhood. We putting out free clothes, free prayer, free food. You know, it's like, yeah, my life did change.
mm-hmm. Well, when you saw her, what was it about her that made you want to give her a hug?
She kind of looked like my grandmama them to me a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like I was like, dang, okay. Not saying like I fantasize about my grandmother.
No,
Now,
but
you
it's
know what I'm
like
saying? But, right.
I don't know how to like how to
Right.
describe that, but I know, yeah.
Right. And when I seen that, I was like, wow, she beautiful. You know, she had a kind heart. You know, she was very well soft spoken, and I don't know, and she loved God, something that I was interested in. So that basically was it, man. She was just loving. She showed me that she can be that Proverbs 31 lady, that virtuous woman.
Okay.
And when she showed me that, I wasn't going nowhere because I didn't want to be with nobody else. Like I had all that other time, you know what I'm saying? And I knew that anybody in my past was gonna be the same. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Because they was looking for me to be the same.
Mm-hmm.
So just with that change in my life and just finding somebody who wasn't from my past, that was the best part. And when I found it, it was on, cause it was like, man, ain't no looking back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She couldn't even understand it. She was like, man, you ain't messed with no women in Indiana since. No, I met you and that was it.
Sometimes it be like that
You
though.
know, I mean, it was, I had all the women. I did all that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't want that no more. I really wanted I didn't know that I was gonna find no wife in Indiana, but I always wanted a wife. You know
When
what I'm
you first
saying?
started thinking about wanting a wife, did you envision that not necessarily look exactly like her, but I'm saying like those traits? Was that what you was looking for, or was it just kind of based off of what you thought a wife should be at that time?
Actually, I had got to the point that I wasn't even looking at like the body structure or none of that stuff no more because it wasn't about that no more. I had all that stuff. It was about her spirituality and the way she moved. You know what I'm saying? Her thought process. that's what it was about with me. You know what I'm saying? Who was gonna love me just for me?
Mm-hmm.
Like, period. And she did all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, with no problem. So I was like, okay, ain't no need for me talking about hollering at her on Facebook or hollering at her on all like that. No, she right here. So let me go ahead and not be nervous and ask her to marry me and see what she gonna say, and we gonna go home for that. You know what I'm saying? It said a man finds a wife finds a good thing. You feel what I'm saying? Pleasing to the Lord. So if God did that, it had nothing to do with me. It had nothing to do with me. I was coming to Indiana to help Kalisha with her music. Not to find no wife, not to go to church, not to do none of that. And he turned to everything. What I thought that I was gonna do, he had a whole different plan. And I thank him for that.
Mm-hmm.
You feel what I'm saying? Now everything changed about me. You know, I ain't got a. I have a wife. I have a stable home. You feel what I'm saying? I have children who I'm getting to understand and learn and know, hers and mine. You feel what I'm saying? Everybody is just striving,
Mm-hmm.
and I love it. I get pissed off sometimes, but I love it. You know.
You know, I know.
Right. So, but as far as that, cuz man, I love life, and I love what God doing in my life, and everybody else's, if they believe it or not.
Yeah.
So
I think that's a great way to put it.
yeah, absolutely.
That's why I waste time constantly trying to convince. Just watch my work.
The words say that we have to show the love of God so much to make people jealous and want to go seek and see what it is that we loving so much. So that's what I do. I love God so much and talk about him so much and show through my life that hopefully I can make somebody jealous and want to go see.
Mm-hmm.
You feel what I'm saying? So that's what I'm doing. I want to make you jealous because I want you to change. I want you to just go see if you like it.
Mm-hmm.
Go see if you like it and trust. Trust that the word is true. And it ain't failed us yet. If you read the word of God, everything is happening. And it's been happening. It is going to keep on happening.
Yeah.
So, you know, and I learned that I don't want to do it my way no more.
It seems like when you surrender, you know, however that means to you,
right?
Everybody,
mm-hmm.
It just kind of works out better. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I think a lot about like plans that I had and things that I wanted to do and just how like it just wasn't working.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And like we've been wanting to do like a podcast type situation
Absolutely.
forever, and we have trying all kinds of different things and just it didn't work. You know.
Mm-hmm.
But then once I said, you know what, I'm just gonna leave. I'm just gonna let it be. You know what I'm saying? If it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna focus on my focus right now, which is my children. You know what I'm saying? And if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And I get a random phone call. I just like straight up out of the blue.
And look where you at.
Right.
Look where you at.
And I think if you stop trying to control what you know you can't control, and just use that energy.
Can I tell you something?
Mm-hmm.
God said he gave us stewardship over things. So we don't do nothing but nurture it and guide it in the right way. He controls everything. So when we start trying to control stuff, that's when everything falls apart. Just think about it. When you try to do, like you said,
mm-hmm.
trying to do it your way.
Yep.
You feel what I'm saying? When your way is rushing.
Yeah.
Your way because you want it right now. But that you sat back and you focused on your children and your life. What you wanted to do came at the time it's supposed to come.
Yep.
And now you striving. He not gonna never put nothing in effect that he don't want to work. If he don't want it to work, it's out of there. But if he wanted to work, cuz it's on. Cause y'all doing something. Y'all doing something to help people. Y'all getting awareness out there, whichever way y'all platforms are.
Mm-hmm.
But this platform right here is pretty good right here. I like this.
I appreciate that.
Let me change that. I love what y'all doing. And I want y'all to keep on doing it because there's big things coming. Just keep your focus the way it's supposed to be.
I could definitely feel it.
You know what I'm saying? And he gonna let you feel it. What? But one thing I want to tell you, he say is don't be anxious for nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cause we can get anxious.
Yeah.
Don't get anxious.
And then start to do too much.
And so yeah, so that's what, and I'm gonna get back into that. That's what I did. I focused on what I was supposed to focus on. And he opened up every other door. That's why I'm sitting here talking to you now. Because I don't want to keep on saying it. I focused on him when I was in prison. Not the case.
Which is right. And I think that's super unique because the average person would say, you know, I was nervous about it. You know, I pray. I try to pray my way through it, to pray away the angst, and you know what I'm saying, just pray for peace, and you know, like basically to help me clear my head so I could, you know, be able to stand trial. You just was like, oh, okay, well, I was just waiting for it.
Right, and once I seen it, I was brought up in the word. You know, a child is brought up in it, he's gonna definitely go back to it. You know what I'm saying? And I just didn't go back to being no Jehovah's Witness. You know what I'm saying? I just love God.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that He is who He is, and He came and put Himself in the body just like He in our body, and came and did what He did, the sacrifice that He called Jesus is the name. But Jesus couldn't have been living if it wasn't for Him, just like us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It was just a different way. You know, we was born by man. He wasn't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but you know, I don't know. I keep on just talking about this all day, but we ain't gonna stay up all night. You know, no. It's about my bedtime. Nah, let's stop.
No, we only got a couple left.
Nah, I'm just joking.
What's the most valuable thing you learn from a relationship? Any relationship?
That you have no control over anything. And you cannot expect nobody to love you like you love them.
Damn. Yeah. When did you learn that?
When I kept on felling with trying to get these chicks to love me like I love them. So, you know, once I figured that out, I'm not doing nothing for this individual for them. I'm doing it because I want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Feel what I'm saying? So that knocks out me even being hurt because I wanted to do it. So if you don't accept it the way that I want you to accept it, that's fine. Because I still wanted to do it for you.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, once I learned that, it was okay.
Okay. What's something that you want to accomplish in the next decade?
I want to have this farm that we looking to get into and have this. This was coming up. Family members own some land. They getting everything set up now. It's 100 acres. They getting it set up where we finna go down there and we getting our agriculture stuff, you know, starting our business for agriculture. And we're gonna go down there and we're gonna start planting vegetables and all like that and stuff. We're gonna start a farm.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah, this all happening next year. Yeah.
Okay.
So not in the next 10 years. So, you know, next 10 years, hopefully I'll be sitting back and just out giving the word of God and showing people that God actually did this for y'all see.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So don't look at me. Look at where it come from. And he actually did it. He actually doing all this. I have not a pecan to go and farm. God said he would bring people into your life to make things happen. And we talked about this, me and my wife. We finna plant the watermelons and stuff, the yellow and purple and blue watermelons in our backyard. But now we finna go on 100 acres and start planting watermelons and all this stuff for the people.
That's what's up.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So in the next 10 years, I just want that to be going. Yeah, I just want that well, I don't want it to be, it's going to be going. And we're gonna be feeding our families. That's what we're gonna be doing. On the real, water finna get bad, so we need millions of watermelons so we can drink the watermelon juice.
Man,
Shoot.
for real.
So yeah, so that's what's happening.
Okay. If you died today suddenly and you couldn't say your proper goodbyes, what would be your biggest regret?
No, I wouldn't have no regret. I wouldn't have no regret because I did everything that I was supposed to do. And nothing would be a regret.
That's a
Nothing.
blessing.
Nothing would be a regret.
That's a blessing.
Yeah. Nothing would be a regret.
That's
I don't I
peace.
don't I don't I don't regret anything that I've done. I don't regret anything that happened in my life. I don't. I don't because I know that it's supposed to happen. You feel what I'm saying? With the choices I made.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. So I don't regret anything. And I don't think any person should regret anything if they really know how life is. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, you like you said, you can choose to do whatever, but if you keep on doing it, then a different story.
Yeah.
But no, I don't regret anything. I love my life. I love everything about my life. I love every time I had to duck and dodge. I love every time I had to do all that stuff. You feel what I'm saying? Because if I didn't make it through it, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you.
Mm-hmm.
And I ain't talking about just running, just ducking and dodging lightweight. I'm talking about like ducking and dodging for real. Like,
What's something you love now that you never thought you would? I totally know the answer to this.
say that again.
What's something that you love now that you never thought you would?
The life I'm living. Shoot. I never thought I'd be living this life. Never. Never in the 50, I'll be 51. In 51 years, never did I thought that, cause I never thought I was gonna make it past 21.
When you were in prison, did you ever think about what it would be like to be in there for 75 years?
Yeah, I went through that whole process. I was in there, and so what I did was, because I was gonna make it through it, because I have received 75 years, but I was in my 30s when I got it, so I would have been 89 years old when I got out on my birthday. So what I was doing was I was preparing myself to live the rest of them years. I turned into a vegan. I mean, I wasn't eating no meat. They was bringing me vegetables and all like that. I was like living healthy, like working out, all that. I said, I'm gonna make it. Either I'm gonna jump this fence, these 30,000 fences, and jump in the Mississippi River right here. You feel what I'm saying? Because that's what's right there, the Mississippi River. And jump in this Mississippi River and die anyway. Or, but God had another plan for me. You feel what I'm saying? Like he let me walk out through the door with no shackles on, no nothing. You know what I'm saying? And he made my living in there like the boys that was in jail in the Bible. Like, I used to cook for the officers. They used to bring me food from the officers' kitchen, and I cook for them burritos and all like that. Like, God made it where it was like I wasn't in prison, but I was. Like, seriously. I'm talking about, I thank him because it was people in there that was living harder than me. You know what I'm saying? Who didn't have nothing. And I could have been one of them people.
Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't, man. He made it where I was straight, man. And I told him, I said, God, I ain't doing none of that stuff no more if you give me a chance. Just give me one more chance. And I say, I'm going to serve you for the rest of my life. Give me one more chance. One more. I'm going to serve you. I got 75 years to serve you. Because you saved me. Come on, man. I was in 415, Menard Correctional Facility on the West House. Properly placed for 75 years. Come on. Why wouldn't I? I want to get up and dance.
Hey.
What you mean? You know, and I want people to understand that, like, how y'all not, how else would you want me to be?
Mm-hmm.
If I know what I know and I'm free. Come on, people don't get free like that.
No.
It's people still locked up from the 70s on their direct appeal. Ain't even had the 3-panel judges yet. I know that because I was there. From the 70s. And they still waiting on a direct appeal. And I get right up out of there. Please. I'm going to praise him every day of my life. I don't care what nobody, oh, he's phony. Well, show me I'm phony. And I'm going to show you a true living God. Period. And I'm going to want to make them jealous. Just tell the truth.
You ain't going to get no argument from me.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is, cuz it's like, for me, this life is the best life for me. I can't say what's good for nobody else.
Mm-hmm.
But for me and my family, we going to serve the Lord.
Yeah.
And that's really all I got to say. And anybody around me, they going to love the Lord. You feel what I'm saying? I guess what I'm going to do? Slide on past you. You know, I ain't mad at you.
That's your choice.
But for me, I know it worked for me. I know it worked for me. So that's it with that one.
You're in a room with everybody that you've ever loved.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you run to?
Jesus.
That's a first. Who runs to you?
Who runs to me?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody. I'm not important.
Gee, nobody's ever said it's a first. That is a first.
Cause that's who I'm gonna see when I get there. I ain't gonna see my grandmama. I ain't gonna see you. I ain't gonna see him. I ain't gonna see her. I'm gonna see Jesus. I'm telling you, I'm all in.
Yeah, I mean,
that's who gonna be there. Period.
What does peace, love, and understanding mean to you?
Just that. Nothing more. Peace. That's it. What is peace? Just being in peace. Love is what it is. That's what you're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? And understanding is understanding your way, and you understanding my way. That's it. You feel what I'm saying? But me personally, man, it's just love with me, cuz. Just like when you met me.
That's true.
That's all it's gonna be.
Simple and plain.
Simple and plain. I love what I love, and I love you. You feel what I'm saying? Don't nobody gotta ever love me. I understand that now.
I think that's what it is. Until you learn how to stop expecting that.
That's when you're gonna move on.
Yeah. Yeah.
You looking for imperfect people to love you.
Yes.
Makes no sense.
Nope. Nope.
Imperfect? The only way you can love through the spirit.
And looking for validation and acceptance and all of that type of
I
stuff.
don't look for that.
Right.
I felt my validation. That's in the word. That's his word that he spoke to me. That's it. That's all I need. That's all I need. Once I read that book, they can say it's controversial. They can say all that stuff they want to say. But if you stay in the Old Testament, you're going to stay controversial. But if you move to the New Testament, where the grace and the mercy come in at, then you will understand. So I'm going to stay on the grace and mercy side. Because I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I believe. But I got to use the bathroom.
Okay. Actually, we done anyway.
Oh, okay.
So tell the people how they can get in contact with you. If they're interested in your clothes, getting your food, getting the word.
Okay. It's simple, y'all. Truly blessed. TRUELY BLESSED at Facebook, at Instagram, at TikTok, at Wick. Wick is my website. Blake Timothy 414 at gmail.com. Thank y'all. That's how y'all can find me. And that's it.
Okay, you can go. It's the door right there. If you can't wait till the very end, that's fine.
Oh, go ahead. Come
on. Thank you all for tuning in again. I appreciate your services. Like I said at the beginning, be nice to yourself. Be kind to yourself. Be patient with yourself. Grace. We extend grace. We receive grace. That's how we get to peace, love, and understanding. If you are in Chicago and you have nothing to do, check out 606 Tuesday Therapy at Sub T. Probably can go right now. I don't know what time it is, but I'm pretty sure they're there already. If you want to be on the Trust Tree, you can reach out on all the socials. The Najvino, TheNasHvino. I think on Instagram is only one E in the, but whatever, you figure it out. In the words of Avon Barksdale, keep it light, but keep it. Until next week.